The natural log is ln. When we write ln, it means the natural log, which is log base e. That's what the natural log is. Just like the common log is really log base 10. The natural log is log base some crazy number, 2.71828 and some change. Some bizarre number that we use a lot. So on your calculator, you also get that button ln, just like the log. So if I ask you, what is the natural log of 22? Go to your calculator now, hit the ln 22, which is 3.091. I'll just stop with a few decimal places. What is the natural log of 213? 5.361. What's the natural log of 1? Just like the log of 1 is always what? 0, regardless what the base is. If you pick a number, again, this is the domain. This is the 1. If you pick a number less than 1, between 0 and 1, then the natural log will be what? Negative value. Let's try that. What's the ln of negative 3? You can't take the log of a negative number, so the rules still apply. Yep. Domain error. What's the natural log of 0? Domain error. Can't take the log of 0. What's the natural log of 0.5? Should be a negative number. Negative 0.693. What's the natural log of 0.01? Negative 4.605. So just like the log, if we give you a number, want to find the natural log, just hit the button. The log, all the rules for the log apply for the natural log. The only difference between the log and the natural log is the base. So the rules just shouldn't change. Doesn't matter if the base is 10, 3, 2.7, 15. It's the same thing. Now, same thing. If I give you the answer, I'm looking for the number. Let's see what happens. Log x, or ln, not log. ln of x equals 2. What is x? ln of x equals 2. Now, if you remember what the definition of ln means, log base what? E of x equals 2. And if we use rule number 3 from last class, it says, well, the number, which is in this case what? X, should be the base. What's my base here? E raised to what power? 2. So again, if you go to your calculator, look over the natural log. And what do you see right directly over the natural log? E to the power. So it does that automatically, does e to the power for you. So let's type in a 2. What's e to the power of 2? 7.39, right? If I say the ln of y equals negative 1, what is y? E to the negative 1. E to the negative 1. 0.368 roughly. ln of m equals 0. What is m? E to the 0, right? What's e to the 0? 1. ln of w equals 5.3. What is w? E to the 5.3. Which is 200.337.
I'm not getting, when I do e to the negative 1, I'm not getting anywhere near that.
Try it again.
Am I still supposed to be in degree mode?
Doesn't matter. That has nothing to do with degrees here.
You just push the E and then choose a number.
Negative 1, yeah.
No, you have to put in parentheses.
I did. Oh, I just put, I didn't minus 1. No, I think.
Can't do the natural log of negative 1, but you can do e to the power. Now, so your calculator only does, or at least my calculator, most of yours. Some of you, your calculator is a bit better than mine. What do I mean by that? It does e to any base. I'm not this lucky.
Ours doesn't do
Nope, most of you don't have that button.
that. Only her button.
So you have, let's say I want to find the log of 25 base 4. And I don't have a calculator that does that. Did you find out what's wrong?
Yeah, I get it.
You got it? Okay.
You set it to X and put X.
X equals base to the cancel.
Right? Right now.
X equals 4. Oh, you don't want to do that. So if you want the answer, you would do.
So I think beside Lauren, I don't know if anyone else has that button on their calculator. Lauren has that key. I saw it there. So she can get that. I think, Million, do you have the same calculator as Lauren?
What does the button look like?
0.321.
So you have that button. So the two of them have a button that will do that. We don't have it. So how are we going to do it? Let's derive an equation for that. If I want to find the answer of any number, the log of any number to any base, let's say the answer is x. I'm going to derive the rule for it and show you what will happen. We can change this to exponential, right? That'll be 4 to the x equals what? 25. I'm going to do this problem twice. I'm going to do it the first time with the log, the second time with the natural log, because Amanda earlier tonight says, oh, take the natural log and divide. And I said, why the natural log? She says, I don't know. So I'm going to show you what will happen. There's an equation. Whatever I do to one side, I got to do the same thing to the other side. So let me take the natural log of both sides. Mathematically, that's 100% correct.
No, you did that.
Before I divide, rule number 6, properties of the log. If you remember the numbers on them. Property number 6 is if you have an exponent, what can you do with the exponent?
Move it to the front.
Move it to the front. That exponent goes in the front. This becomes what? X times natural log of 4 equals natural log 25. You have a multiplication. To solve for x, you're going to divide both sides by what?
Natural log of 4.
Natural log of 4. What's x equal to?
2.
The natural log 25 to the natural log of 4. Make sure you close the parentheses when you take the natural log. At least mine puts parentheses. If I didn't close them, is going to divide that number for me. That'll be wrong. So I'm going to close the natural log 25 divided by the natural log of 4 and close the parentheses on that too. And hit equal. And this one says 2.322. So now Laura and Million do not have an advantage over us. We can do the natural log or the log of any number to any base. Now, I left this side blank intentionally because I said, let me take the natural log. What about if I take the log of both sides? Take the exponent to the front. This becomes x times the log of 4 equals the log of 25. To solve for x, we're going to divide both sides by the log of 4. X equals the log, not the natural log, the log of 25, close the parentheses, divided by the log of 4, close the parentheses. Is it the same answer?
Yes, it is.
2.3219 or 22. So regardless if you use the natural log or the log, your answer is not going to change. So it's just preference. Some people like the natural log, some people like the log. That's called the change of base rule. So from now on, if you are given any problem, what is log 55 base 7? You can say, oh, I know what to do. It's the natural log of 55 over the natural log of 7, or the log of 55 over the log of 7. You decide which one you want to use. And my answer is 2.059. More other numbers, but I'll stop here. 2.059. Remember, none of these numbers can be negative. Can't. The base cannot be negative. Because when you go, this can't be negative, this can. The answer can be, well, the answer, this number and that number can't be, because you're going to break it down to natural log of a number. It can't be a negative or 0.
Oh,
So what's the log or the natural log? The log of 33 base 7. Here you go, that's the natural log of 33 over the natural log of 7. I guess I'm a fan of 7 today. Or the natural log, or the log, not the natural log, of 33 over the log of 7. 1.8 and some change. So if you want to play games actually with this property, if I said to you, what is log 27? And let's assume for the sake of discussion, our keyboard, that log button is broken. It's stuck. I'm pushing it, nothing's happening. It's a question on the test, and you don't want to get a 0 on it. I say, wait a minute, I can't use the log button, it's not working. Well, when you don't see the log, that means log base what? 10. You can choose what? The natural log of 27 over what? The natural log of 10. So I go ln of 27 divided by ln of 10. It's 1.43134, and there's more, or 3.764.
isn't it not exact because it's like 2.7, like point whatever?
Huh?
Isn't it natural log, it's not exactly 2.7, it's like 2.7.
Is infinite, actually. That does not end.
Doesn't matter.
Nope, the machine knows what that number is now. So notice if I take just the log of 27, do I get the same answer? If my buttons suddenly start to work, and let's compare the two answers. 1.431363764. What do you know? I did it both ways. So if my button key freezes here, gets stuck, you spill some juice on it, suddenly it's not working, you can use the natural log. The same thing with the ln. You come to use it, you push, it's not working. You go, oh, ln is, it's log base what? E. So that becomes the log, since the ln doesn't work, I'm going to use the log of 88 over the log of E. So I go to my calculator. There we go. The log of 88, close the parentheses. I'm going to divide that by the log, and I need to write E.
To the first.
Well, I'm not going to write 2.4 because that's the approximation of 2.7. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go second natural log, that's e to the button, e to the 1. That's what e is.
You have to do one.
Notice how many brackets I'm using here. 2. One to close the e to the 1, the other one to close the log. E to the 1 is e, but don't leave it just e, because that e button has an arrow and expecting an exponent. You have to put an exponent there. You can't leave it blank. So if I hit enter, 4.4773. And if suddenly again my natural log button is working, ln of 88, 4.477336814, right on the money.
Professor, you said that LN button was not working. But
Now it's working. I fixed it. I poured some,
when you press the E, is the LN button the same one?
but it worked for me, for the E. So that's how you can use actually the log to get the natural log, and use the natural log to get the log. It's called the change of base.
Change of base.
And that's the end of section 13.5. Those are actually the two easier sections out of the three tonight.